I'd say we've been trained to complain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been made into like a bunch of
Yeah.
as like a society. Like we complain about everything we want everything our way. We want everything now. I mean, things that are great don't come now. They don't come quick. They don't come fast. You have to earn that shit.
Before we get into PerniciousKanibs here, hit the subscribe button. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. What other ones are there? All of them.
All of them, bro.
I'm pretty sure we're on all of the platforms. So hit your subscriptions. We can't see who subscribes, but we can see when people subscribe. So we know. And if you're listening to the show and you're not subscribed, we also know that. Wish we could figure out who you are.
Not cool. Subscribe.
There's some perpetrators.
Infiltrating the.
But PerniciousKanibs, you also have a really awesome just government name.
What, Francisco?
Yeah, Francisco Lagera.
Yeah,
Lagera.
Sound like a fighter.
Dude, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because when I met you, it was just Frisco, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, well, there's got to be more to this. And then I was like, I asked like Nick or Steve Service, and they were like, it's Francisco. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's a mouthful for a child. Like,
yeah.
Especially being dyslexic and like ADD, ADHD, like it was not cool.
Yeah, did you have a hard time spelling your own name?
For sure. I think third grade is when I got it.
Yeah.
I was like, they were like, come on, you got this. It was 9 letters. That's a lot of letters for a kid. Come on. I was singing them all backwards too. I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah, but I feel like a name, I feel like a name like that suits like your personality and like your style. Because like if you just had like if your name was just like Chris like Adams or something like that, it just wouldn't make sense to me.
That's so true.
You have like an awesome style to you, so you should have like a badass name.
Thank you very much.
Like my name's like Andrew Mann. It's like really. It's just.
I know it's fitting though.
You think so?
Yeah, it's definitely fitting. It's not. I don't know. Like my cousin was an Andrew, so I don't know. It's like.
Yeah.
He was an awesome Andrew. So like when I meet other Andrews, I'm like, you got to be pretty cool to hold that name, and you got to be like, I don't know.
Now I got to live up to the Andrew, like the code of the Andrew.
I don't know, dude. My cousin was a pretty awesome dude. So he knocked it out of the park for the Andrews. So like I'm like when I meet other Andrews, they tend to be pretty cool.
The pressure's really on.
Nah, you pretty much knocked it out of the park from the first time we met. So
okay, yeah. When we met over at it was Hollow House.
Yeah.
I've been trying to link up with you just like out of just knowing the Service Brothers and stuff. They had talked about you a whole bunch.
Yeah, they were telling me from the beginning. They're like, dude, you got to get on there, and I was just like being a little bitch.
Yeah, podcasts. Rambo's full of the energy today.
Yeah, Rambo.
I think it's you.
Rambo wants some Frisco.
Yeah. So you specialize in growing microgreens.
Yes.
And that's what you guys are into. Like, how did that start, or like how long have you been doing that?
Literally, start of the new year. It was an accident. PerniciousKanibs. I don't know. It kind of sounds like what it kind of means. Kanibs, cannabis. You can't LLC that here in PA yet, from my understanding, through legal reasoning.
They just don't recognize it as like a source of income.
Yeah. So all the legal part, all that legal stuff, that's all our business partner. She handles all of that, all the stuff that would have to be done with like FDA and stuff like that. That's her area of expertise. But how we all came together was Sarah Mott kind of reached out. She was reaching out to my girlfriend she was her client for her hair. And that kind of just led into her, doing her hair at her house and during the pandemic. And she,
do that bootleg hair salon.
Yeah, well, I mean, the pandemic got crazy and it really just like put a lot of stress on her. And she just like, Ashley just kind of, we made a decision where she should just walk away. And she did. And a couple clients just continuously reach out to her. for them to do her hair. And Sarah happened to be like one of the first ones that was like, listen, I don't know what you're doing, but I miss you. I would love for you to still do my hair. Long story short, she told her she wanted to get into the cannabis industry, and Ashley, let her know that I happen to grow.
You had a hidden talent.
Yeah, I had a small hidden talent, and and that kind of just snowballed into us meeting the brothers. We started this company, gearing up to start a cannabis company, and Ashley was like, "Hey, babe, I want to grow microgreens." While we were meeting up, and I was just like, "All right, we got 10 space, let's do it." And she was just like, "This is what I want to grab." We ran down the Lowe's, grabbed some seeds, grabbed some trays off of Amazon, and just put them in the tent and, cross our fingers. And they happened to be really, really good. We had a lot of them, so we gave them to the brothers, and they were like, "Dude, these are awesome."
Yeah. So what strains of like the microgreens, like what did you guys start with? Because I know there's microgreens is like a whole area of things. There's like sprout, like different sprout, like there's so much to that world that like, where did you start from?
Literally, she just picked it up. She was just like doing her research because she's a big my girlfriend Ashley's a big health nut. And
Who's sitting over there?
Yeah, who's sitting in the off screen and just sitting off to the side there hanging out. And she is just very into health and health conscious, and she, is always, making sure we're eating correctly and better. And she was just like, I think it would be smart for us to grow microgreens. And
so you started with like broccoli sprouts and things like that.
It was arugula micro mix, like a salad mix. And I think that was like the two, like micro salad mix and arugula. And we gave them to the brothers. They were like, "Dude, these are really good." And it was just some some organic seeds from Lowe's, like nothing special. Now we like get really, really good high quality seeds, and that shows a lot. And
it shows there's like you can tell a difference between like the Lowe's.
Oh, for
product.
sure. Yeah.
How crazy is it going to be when you can get like cannabis seeds at Lowe's?
That's dude.
How many years away do you think we are from that? Like 10?
Yeah.
Because all those companies have to
Yeah,
assess
but
their
those
risk
big,
profile.
yeah, but
and
those
everything.
big companies are going to be the companies like they already sell tomato plants.
Yeah.
You're going to have like a little autoflower plant. They're
Yeah.
like, "Come grab your autoflowers, already started. Like, just pick them up." It's at that point, 10 years from now, it'll be dialed in.
Yeah, it was probably like 2 years ago. I read a book about kind of like how it was like a book about drugs and how they became like the war on drugs and like how it started. Like everybody thinks it started with Reagan. It started like much earlier than that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like wild to me to learn that like cannabis as a plant was outlawed to kind of benefit like one man and his paper business in a way. Because like the hemp plant, like you can make paper from hemp. So like the hemp plant was kind of outlawed because like this guy was worried that like if that market grew, it would like attack his business.
Really?
Yeah, I wonder if you
did not know
could
that.
pull it up, like hemp paper outlaw or something. I don't know. That's probably
That is hilarious.
yeah. It's probably
I wonder who he was.
Yes.
yeah. It's about the 1920s, I think. Yeah. I don't know. It was like, William Randolph Hearst.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of like read. It was a whole bunch. It wasn't just about cannabis, but I was kind of like, wait a minute. This is illegal because somebody was going to lose some money, and it just stayed that way. And then at the same time, I was kind of getting, and this is like around the coronavirus. I was just like reading all kinds of health stuff just to like
Learn.
I mean, we were
Educate
stuck at
yourself.
home for a little bit, and it was just kind of like I was looking for things that were like in that could help me more. I was just knowledge. I mean, I'm a nerd, so like I
too.
seek knowledge, and
too.
it was just like, well, what kind of healthy stuff is there? My wife was starting to get into the broccoli sprouts. She has like a small tray thing that she grows them on, just in our kitchen, and I just kind of went down a rabbit hole, and then I was just kind of like blown away to find out like that's why it first was made illegal. And like before that, like all drugs were kind of legal. Like you could get like opium, different things. You just go to the pharmacy and get that stuff.
Oh, doctors, that's like cannabis extract was a thing. Well, like just constantly used by doctors. It was like a normal over-the-counter. A lot of these drugs that you could get over-the-counter.
Yeah, so with like the growth of like the broccoli sprouts, like what kind of medium, like how are you growing them in? Like are you growing them in like a dirt, or are you growing them in like a different kind of medium? Because I know there's like a variety of ways you can do it.
Yeah, so there you can do it medium soil-less, you can do it hydroponically, you can do it in coco coir is what we do. There's also soil. It's cleaner for coco coir. That's why we choose to do that. It allows us not to have to clean our product. You can clean it before you use it, but it's so clean. It's never being fed from the top, so there's no need to have to wash it.
Yeah.
It's just a super clean product.
What's coco coir look like? Can we look at
It's coconut husks. So it's just it looks like soil. COIR, yeah. And that's what we use. We actually use Cocoa Bliss, the premium coco coir, and you just dehydrate it.
So it's just like a brick like that?
Yep.
And then you just like push the seeds into it?
No, you dehydrate it. So I put that brick in a bin, and I add water and to a certain amount, and it expands to, one block expands to 10 pounds of soil or soilless medium. So it's compact, easy to store, and then when I need it, I just dehydrate it and use it as needed. But
so like you chose to do that just because like that product is like the cleanest way to grow it, or is that like how you knew how to grow it?
Literally, to be completely honest, it is a cleaner way to grow, but it's the way I've learned. So I already know how to grow in coco coir, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and then how are you mixing up, like, are you just, like, watering the plants after you hydrate this? So, like, you take the brick, you, like, put it in the moisture, it just, like...
Yeah, it breaks
down.
So basically, I just put it in a bin, get a garden hose, water it, it expands. I get a rake, just break it down, get it to, so there's no clumps or anything. I get it nice and fluffy, and pack my trays, seed them. If some certain strains will have to be buried, so an extra layer will have to be put on top. Certain strains don't. Most strains have to be stacked with weight in germination for X amount of days. Some are fewer, which is like 3. Some are 5. Some, like lemon basil and cilantro, are much longer. Cilantro's in there for 10 days. We just got a new variety, which we're going to start messing around with, which is celery, which is much... We're going to have to experiment because we can't really find too much information on that, but it's very pretty, and it's in look, it's similar to cilantro, which is a big ticket item of ours and one of our most bought in microgreens.
Everybody buys cilantro a lot, our
cilantro is pretty darn potent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bee's knees.
Yeah, that's from what we were told. It was like gold.
Awesome.
The Yardley Inn, the GM over there, we're a new business. I've never grown a plant before the pandemic in my life, so like this is a whole new world to me. Figuring out pricing's a whole new thing to us. I've never sold produce, so I wouldn't know. I've only bought it, So getting into it, we got very lucky. We bought a lot of our stuff off of a guy from the area who was a company called Little Leaf.
Okay.
Also, his name is Andrew. He's a pretty dope dude. Andrew Springer.
He's living up to the code.
Dude. When I tell you, I'm meeting Andrews and they're knocking it out of the park. So you guys are killing it. But this dude was like, he's just a whiz with the computer. He made this platform or software that someone like who owns a microgreen company could use to put their inputs in, how much the soil costs per tray, what the electric is for the month, like per wattage, your labor rate, and then that you put in a couple other inputs, which are like the seed cost per pound or per 5 pound or for however much you bought it.
So it does all your like costing and
It
then
does everything
and then
for
you
you.
put your profit margin in there that you want, and it kind of just generates.
And it generates a number.
Okay.
So ours was extremely too high, and
Your price was too high.
oh
or your
yeah,
cost?
our price was way too high, and the GM was like, "Listen, this stuff is the best cilantro I've ever had in my life." She's like, "But that number." She was like, I don't know if I can do that number. I was like, "Listen, we don't want to lose you." We were like, "Listen, we don't want to lose you as a customer. We want to grow. We want to learn. We want to adjust. We want to continue to grow as a business. So this is input that we're going to take. Can we come back with another number?" And she was like, yeah. She was like, "That would be amazing." We came back with another number, and she was like, "We'll take 4 ounces a week." And then she's just been adding from there since that, and it's been a journey.
Nice.
What's like the street value of an ounce of cilantro right now?
Honestly, that's
Proprietary?
no. Ashley can tell you. I'm terrible with numbers. I like doing all the growing and stuff like that. I do the inputs and stuff like that, but I take pictures of everything, man. I smoke a lot of weed. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
It's fine.
I smoke a hell of a lot of weed. But again, I do all that so this is service retail. So
if I'm like a restaurant owner and I want to buy some cilantro, what are we looking at here?
So a regular person, I'm gonna have to get that one pulled up. But a regular person, if they wanted some cilantro for an ounce, it's $11.
Okay.
But an ounce of cilantro is not a little bit. Cilantro is so light.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was gonna say. Like that's like a
ridiculously
lot
light.
of.
It's like why would you want an ounce of cilantro if you're a single person? Like if you eat tacos all week, I hear you.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like
Gilmar, we actually have Gilmar used to be the head chef of a restaurant in the area, so maybe you can get it in. How much like what kind of greens were you guys buying?
Mostly parsley. Not
Parsley.
much cilantro every now and then. Not really though.
You guys slang that parsley?
parsley, no microgreen parsley.
No, Italian.
Okay, gotcha.
Flat curly. shit
Gotcha.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we strict as of right now, we're looking to venture in. We also are limited on space. So like when I tell you like we converted a 8x10 room into our grow space, and
so it's
that
probably
was
like
6 months
maybe
ago.
half the size of this room.
Yeah, you definitely like exactly more. Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, more or less. It's about half the size of this room, so
Yeah.
it's strategically, set up to work for what we have. And we have a little bit room for expansion, but not much. Our next move would be to get a space, but we're not going to get ahead of you're not going to get ahead of ourselves. We're going to work within our means and stretch out till we can't stretch no more, and then move.
How long does it take you, like, so we'll stay on, like, the cilantro train, like, and then, like, an ounce is obviously a lot. Like, how long does it take to grow that amount?
So, again, that's reasons why cilantro is a little bit on the pricier side is because it's a longer grow. It's one of the longest. It's could typically 27 days.
Okay.
So it's in germination for 10. So it's popping out of the soil phase for 10 days. Most of them are like 3 to 5.
And it's easier to grow this indoors because you can kind of, like, control all the variables and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's completely, like, time. There are people who do it in greenhouses, and they have great results. But
in this area, it seems kind of like you'd only be able to grow, unless you have a heated greenhouse, it'd be hard to grow year-round in this area.
yeah, with heat spikes and heat like cool drops and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the sun's vicious when you put it out there. Like, it's way easier to control with a grow light, I would assume.
And I mean, microgreens, you need very minimal. I mean, like very minimal light. I think we used on a 2x4 rack, we're using two 43-watt LED bars. That's no light. Like very, very minimal. Pulls very little electricity. got a little parched there.
No, that's fine.
Got my
It's funny.
coggin.
It's yeah. I was just gonna tell everybody you were drinking a jar of moonshine. and
Yeah,
that's how
everybody.
you-
We get that everywhere we go. People are like, "What are you drinking?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm just walking around, driving everywhere I go, sipping on some moonshine like that, and not like no face, just raw dog in it, like
yeah.
eye wink and all."
Just like as the podcast goes on, his eyes just get more and more droopy. It's like
I did eat an edible before I got here. That actually might happen.
so. Like when you grew cannabis, is that like the same? You use the same medium to do that in? Or,
Yeah. Added perlite for drainage and aeration.
So like the perlite was kind of just like. You added that to that, so it wouldn't be as like compact, I guess.
So because it's such a short grow for microgreens, you don't want anything in there, and you don't need a very deep tray. You very shallow trays. The longest we grow is 27 days, and then you're recycling out. So like you're throwing it away. So one added cost on perlite. That would be.
The Yardley Inn would be, taking that cost to the chin, I guess.
And I'm not trying to add any cost anywhere that we don't have to.
Yeah.
We want to keep everybody happy. I mean, like when I tell you no bullshit, we're super grateful. Like it was an accident. She said, I want to grow microgreens, and it just snowballed. I mean, 12, like the beginning of this year, the first month of this year, it went. Here, our partner was like, "Here, this is the money you need to renovate the room." I did a lot of the stuff myself with help with a couple family members and a couple friends, and we went to work. We kind of got lucky. Everything kind of just fell into place as we were making our like small moves. Like
that's usually how things work out when they're.
It
meant
felt
to
right
be,
though. Like it, yeah, exactly. If it just
so like you
right.
guys have everything set up on like. Metal shelves of some kind.
Yeah,
and
2x4, like the Lowe's 2x4 metal racks.
Yeah.
They have the 5 and the 6 tier. We got the 6 tier. I'm drawing a blank on the company who makes the trays that we use, but we actually have an automated feed system.
Okay.
Again, the guy Andrew, who we bought all his equipment from Little Leaf, was like just above. They kind of got smoked by the pandemic, and we got lucky enough to grab from them and get a lot of help and a lot of knowledge. He was like, dude, if you buy our equipment and our platform, you get us endlessly. Like you, and we just
like
became friends with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just became friends with him. He's a really cool dude.
That's awesome when like farm type businesses are like supportive.
Passed his business on because
Yeah.
that's kind of how it was. We just changed the name to what we were, what we wanted to be because we're kind of gearing up into a different direction.
Yeah, how'd you come up with the name?
Our partner did. She's a savvy bitch.
Yeah.
She is. We love her, man. She's a business consultant for big companies like Johnson & Johnson, and when the FDA, they get a letter from the FDA, she is the person who gets them ready to either get out of trouble or handle whatever they have to handle.
Mm-hmm.
She is super fucking smart. She has been through it and she got herself out of it. She's got a pretty cool story herself. But like she just kind of just like reached out to her and reached out to the brothers and just she was like, babe, we have this opportunity. We're gonna go to this meeting. She didn't tell me anything. I had no fucking clue. She had she had a little idea, but I had no fucking clue.
And you guys are doing that, like you guys are doing this full time.
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, we were trying to balance other things, but we do actually like clean for a salon once a month, and then I have my older sister who kind of helped raise me. She's taking care of my mother and her father. We have different fathers. My mom had her first set of 3 in her younger years, and then waited till she was in her later years, met my father, and had 3 more. And older 3 helped raise the younger 3. So both dads kind of took off, but now their dad came back into the picture, same like mine's also. But they, rekindled their relationship, and he's sick now, and she's my older sister, doesn't have children. She's taking care of both her father and my mother. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to see.
Life's kind of wild when you...
Dude, it's a dynamic. It's hilarious. Like, imagine like being forced back in with your ex-husband you don't want to be around. I'm like, Mom, Dad. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
So you guys probably have a full plate with all like the plants and everything and the family.
Oh, I don't know. It's my family's pretty big, and we kind of always just always helped each other out. So it's just
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of just the normal for me.
How do you guys find new customers?
We are doing a shitload of networking. Doing things like being here with great people like you. Last night I was at an event at, I'm gonna butcher this name, with the brothers. It's a fitness gym.
Cora?
That's it.
You guys were at Cora last night?
Yeah, last night for
a guys meetup?
It wasn't a guys meetup.
Oh, okay, because there's a guys meeting up. They had the last one, and I was like, bro, how come I wasn't invited to this?
No, it's open. Anybody. Yeah. They asked me to go. It's not just guys. They say girls can come too, but usually it's just guys that show up because it's pretty extreme.
Yeah,
but
Cora, me and Gilmore have been thinking about heading over there to check it out a few times.
It's a small space, but it's honestly I've never been in a gym like it.
Is that guy coming on the podcast? Are they coming on the podcast soon?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk to them.
He's a pretty.
It's a cool idea. Like their gym setup is just like it's a unique plan, and the way they approach fitness and the way they approach membership and stuff like that is very I've never seen anything like that before.
It's definitely a different outlook as opposed to like members only gym. You know what I mean? It's not like
it's kind of like
it's not.
I mean, I might be making something up here, but it's like a well-fit gym. Yeah. It's like wellness and fitness.
It is. No.
I might have just invented something. We should trademark well-fit.
Well, you just said it on.
Yeah.
You better trademark it before you put this.
This is our trademark stamp.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Shotgun sound.
Yeah.
That's trademark.
Yeah.
If we see anybody, we know all your IP addresses. We'll come after you.
Oh shit.
He said, "Oh shit." Actually, keep the mic that close. It sounds better.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Do
we have that sound?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's awesome is your shirt.
Oh yeah, so we were doing like a little gift for our group, like our partners and stuff like that for Christmas, because it was super tight and for funds and stuff like that. So we went to Spencer's and just found whatever fit well, and the brothers are pretty much a ray of fucking sunshine, and I don't know, we like to be bold.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna get into your blue beard right here.
Yeah, that's pretty much my trademark. I've been blue for pretty much like 8 years.
Damn.
I don't know, better part of 8 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much since we met, I've been blue, hair or beard.
Is that your favorite color?
No.
No, I was gonna say.
It's one of my favorites.
It's not. I mean, it's why do I have it on my face though?
It is your favorite.
I mean, I'm like not. I wouldn't have someone else's favorite color on my face every day.
I don't know. We're getting into it. That's what I'm saying.
But it's we've been through. She's had her fun. Trust me. I've been confetti. I've been unicorn. I'm talking every color under the sun.
Do people think that like the blue thing's like a political statement?
I've never. Man, you know what it really is, because I'm from Philadelphia.
Mm.
It's go Eagles. I'm not. I grew up playing hockey my whole life. I'm more of a play sports person.
Yeah.
I don't like to watch them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah. But I got so tired of saying no, so I'm just like, yeah, go Eagles. Sometimes, it's just like whatever, depending on my mood. Like sometimes I'm just like, yeah, man.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
it's
sports.
it's more of an aqua when it fades out too. It's not more of like Eagles green.
Dude, my brother, when we were kids, my brother was probably like 10 years old, maybe. asked my mom for like a year straight to let him, like, he wanted to dye his hair blue. And dude, I was like, dude, what is your obsession with this? He's like, I don't know. And when my brother gets onto something, I mean, we're kind of similar. It's just like, you're gonna get it, or you're just gonna like. It's just there's no settling. It's
So
like you're gonna.
Did he do it?
Yeah. So we went to my dad's house for like, we didn't see my dad a whole lot as like throughout the year, but like during the summer times we'd go and like stay with him for a few weeks, and like the first like night, my brother was like, "Can I dye my hair blue?" And my dad's like, I don't see why not.
Right.
Like, literally didn't even get into the door, and he's like, Dad won't give a shit. He'll let me do it. So my dad, and my dad's like pretty mechanically inclined, and he's just like a businessman. It was just funny because like he bleached our hair. And I was just like, all right, I'm good with the blonde, dude. I'm not going. I'm bailing out on this blue thing. I'm not going into this with you. So he had to like, my dad like looked it up, went to the store with us, and it's just like my dad and two boys in like a hair store. He's just like, how do I do this? And he just like bleached our hair, and like, then he was like, I had really dark eyebrows, so he's like, oh, we're probably gonna do your eyebrows too. It's gonna look weird.
Dude.
And I was just like,
it's worse. It's worse with the blonde eyebrows. I had it earlier.
I was like, all right, whatever. And I was probably like, my brother was probably like 8. I was probably like 10. And so then my brother, after he got the hair blonde, then he did my brother's hair blue, and it looked like really blue for like 2 days, and then we got dropped off at camp, and my brother got into the pool
and it washes out.
It turned his hair like green.
Yeah.
He looked like a swamp thing.
Yeah, because of the chlorine.
Yeah. So my brother was like pissed as shit. He was like, dude, it was only blue for this many days. He's like, wanted to redo it. My dad's like, nah, dude, we're not doing these chemicals all the time. I think he got away with it like one more time, and then like you can't avoid the pool at that age. So like,
heck no.
It was funny. We like came home one weekend to my mom's house, and like my mom was like, what the hell? Like, I said no. My brother's like, hey, dude.
Dad said, yeah.
Oops. Playing those divorced parents against each other over blue hair. I guess there's worse things.
Fucking blue hair, bro.
Yeah, the blue hair story, dude.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, dude. For some reason, he was obsessed with the. I was like,
I get it. I totally get it.
Just gonna have to dye this kid's hair blue.
Yeah, I used to want the frosted tips. I thought that
you wanted the
cool.
frosted tips.
That shit was cool, bro.
In my area, everybody did the Eminem thing. So like,
Like
when I
bleach
was
your
like
hair.
10, everybody was like, real Slim Shady, please stand up, and we were all like the douchebags with the.
Yeah, how old are you?
33.
Okay, so we're about the same age. Then it was probably the Eminem thing.
Mm.
It was
Yeah, and your brother was just an extremist. He was just like, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna add color.
Yeah,
I like the style.
I don't know what it was, but like it was just blue. We'll have to like get him on here next
Sonic
time
the Hedgehog, I don't know.
just find out like, dude, what was
That's
it?
a
He'll
thing.
probably be like,
That's
dude,
a
I don't
thing
know.
with kids. My girl's her little brother, who's now in his mid 20s or early 20s. Yeah, early 20s. He was I'm Sonic, and he was Sonic. Like it was his thing. I have a nephew. He's now 3 or 4. I was like, Giovanni. He's like, no, I'm Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, he's great. Sonic's great. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. But
Dude, there's like
I didn't go through that phase.
Yeah, there was like my wife's buying like rash guards for jiu-jitsu right now.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, is this one too wild?" Like it's beginner, like she's just getting into it. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, there's nothing too wild except for you can't show up day one with some Dragon Ball Z on. Somebody will smash you." Yeah, like when you show
be on your game.
Yeah,
if
you better
show up.
You better protect your neck. I was like, if you show up to a jiu-jitsu tournament and like say you're like a rogue agent, and you don't come from a school or anything, and you got like you see a dude with like Dragon Ball Z on or like Ninja Turtles, like fuck that dude. He's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
like
definitely
it's like
avoid that guy.
Dude, like anybody that's ballsy enough to wear a Dragon Ball Z rash guard needs to be watched closely.
Yeah. That's
so like you're not at the Dragon Ball Z level. Just get some like tiger stripes or something. She's like, that's not too wild. And I'm like, no, it's like once you start getting into anime or ninja costumes, like then you better bring the heat.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
yeah,
for
so
sure.
I kind of relate.
Yeah, freaking flipped out on some guy on the way here.
Yeah,
dude, it was, we're getting on the light, into this like the turning lane.
Yeah, I love traffic drama. So hit me.
This guy, he's got his Lexus, real expensive Lexus, bright blue like my beard. He was definitely not expecting me to lean out my car and snap out on him. But with a blue beard. He was probably like, "Oh my god, this is not happening." So,
Is that what he sounded like? He probably did.
yo, I snapped out. But I get in front of him because he waited. Like, I know this. I have time. You're either on your phone or whatever because it was at a light. So I slid in. Like, just there was a big opening, so I slid in. And but because he's in a fast car, he wants to ride my ass now. And I'm like, speed up a little bit, and then he really gets up my ass. I'm like, brake check.
Yeah.
He swerves a little bit, and I'm like, all right, and I speed back up. Then he's really, really riding my ass. I'm like, all right. I mean, here goes nothing. And she's like, she knows not to say nothing because it takes me a lot. It takes me a lot, and she'll do it too. She'll do it too. Like, road rage is a thing, and I grew up in South Philly, and it's a lot. And I'm just one of them people. Like, I guess I have that face. So, like, dude, I have had a gun pulled on me. No bullshit.
Yeah.
I've had a gun pulled on me, and I got locked up for it.
Wait, somebody pointed a gun at you and you got arrested
No
for
bullshit. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was the worst thing ever. It was the worst thing ever.
it? So, like, what happened with that?
So, I was like, I think 18 or 19.
Okay.
Just get done work, super late. Pick up my ex-girlfriend at the time. The girlfriend at the time is the ex-girlfriend now. And going to Phil's Steak on 24th and Snyder or Passion.
Okay. I think it's Snyder.
I think it's Snyder. Yeah, no, 24th and Snyder. So I'm on my way there. I get to like 16th and Porter or Rittner, one of those. Actually, I think it's Jackson. So I'm on 16th and Jackson. I'm driving up, and I get to a light. A guy on a motorcycle is in front of me. The light turns green. He's on his cell phone. It turns yellow, and it turns red. So I'm like, all right, you just sat through a whole light. So it turns green again. I beep because he's still on his phone. I beep. I'm like, yo, buddy, can you pull over? He pulls over, and as I'm passing him, he punches the side of my car.
Yeah?
Swear, no bullshit, bro. I get out of my car, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I'm like, what's your problem? And he slaps his hip, and he goes, get the fuck back in your car, you little bitch. I'm like, yo, this can't be serious. But this shit happens in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you watch the news now, but it looks like Grand Theft Auto in South Philly.
Yeah.
It was not as bad back then, but shit just like this, just normal shit. Like, this is normal shit in South Philadelphia. So, long story short, I'm like, all right, I'm a mechanic. Then I got crowbars in my trunk. I pop my trunk, grab a bar. When if you're a man, put the fucking gun down and hand me a fucking fair one. And he's like, pulls the gun off the hip and puts it up and goes, I'll shoot you right in your fucking face. Get back in your car, you little bitch. I'm like, yo, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
So I throw my bar in my trunk and I pull away. Yo, he called the cops on me and told them I tried to run him off the road.
Damn. You should have you should have done it.
Right?
Yo! If you're going to get in trouble for it, you might.
So I go to Phil's Steak.
Yeah.
I get my steak. I'm pulling away. I see a cop car get behind me. I'm like, I immediately you feel the feeling.
Yeah.
You know when you're getting
You're like,
pulled
oh,
over.
this one's me.
This is it. So I turn. He turns. I turn again. He turns again. Lights go on. I get pulled over. I go to jail. The best thing though was the juror. Like, my sister got me a lawyer. She was like, fuck this dude. Went to court, and my lawyer made a fool out of him. The judge made a fool out of him, and they threw the charges out. I wound up walking away with it, and he was like, I was more like, I wasn't about that. Like, I'm not going to go sue you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to punch you in the face and knock you the fuck out. I'd rather fight you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm never going to be able to do that because you're a fucking pussy and you're going to call the cops. So I just like.
Did they have like that dude for like a witness that pointed the gun at you? Or did they just like go off his statement?
No. They brought him up and interrogated. Like they interrogated him. Like, my lawyer was like cross-examined him and shit like that. And he just like caught him in all kinds of lies, dude. He was just like chopping him up. And then the judge was like, he was like, do me a favor. Stop pulling rank and saying you're a vet. He was like, you served and got dishonorable discharge. We pulled your background. He was like, stop saying that. He was like, and you're a disgrace to the suit. I was like, damn, they just played him on the stand, and I was just like, oh, this feels so good.
Yeah.
This feels so fucking good.
Justice.
But I still had to sit in jail. For a night, and I had shorts on, bro, and I was cold as shit, and it sucks. Like that's no joke. That's like the worst.
What kind of shoes were you wearing when you were about to get in a fight in South Philly?
What?
Did you have flip flops on?
Oh, I've been in fights in flip flops, bro. Yeah, man. You don't. I fought a lot. I fought a lot growing up. I'm a little guy, and I got picked on. So, like, just where I came from, 2nd Street, South Philly, it was just like it was either get bullied or put your hands up. And
Yeah, I lived when I moved to the city. The first place I lived was 8th and Reed, which is like pretty South Philly.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I met all my neighbors and stuff, and like they were down to like if any of them like
anybody gets
were
in it,
walking
doesn't
mad,
matter.
one of them would be like, "Yo, why you mad, Tony?" And they'd be like, "Yo, this guy over here." Would be like, well, "Let's go get him. Let's go get it."
Yeah,
and I'd literally sit out on my steps, and I'd be like, "Oh, I want to get invited."
Yeah, yo,
I'm the suburbs because they don't like me yet. And then finally, I started like slowly becoming friends with all of them, and the shit they would get into was hilarious.
Yo, it's
like
it's
it would just
different
be
in the
like
city.
every weekend was just like another thing. They would be like, dude, my one neighbor, he was like an electrician in the electrical union, and he lived with his parents who were like also wild as shit. And this kid had a motorcycle, I had a motorcycle. Like the one night he's like, he gets home and he's like all fucking pissed, and I'm like, yeah, what's going on? It's Friday, what's up? He's like, yo, the cops just got me. I was riding a bike. It's not even inspected. I don't even have a motorcycle license.
Oh, nobody drives a motorcycle license.
He's like, dude, they took my gun. He goes, I got permits for that. Like, you just can't take my piece. Like, he's like, but I got another one, so I'm going to get that. We're going out. And I'm like, this is fucking wild. The kid's name was like Ronnie. Yeah. I'm like, all right, dude. I was like, your bike's not inspected? He's like, no, hell no.
Why? Why inspect it?
Yeah, they just pulled him over and towed his bike.
Yeah,
and
nobody.
Like, and it was like the police's fault.
It's pretty normal.
And he's like, yeah, it's their cops' fault. They got better things to do. Pull me over. I'm like, dude, this city is crazy. Yeah, I'm like, this is way more action than I'm used to.
Too many people in close proximity. I had to move.
Yeah,
I had to move. I swear to God, like the reason why we moved was I got in trouble. I had to get the fuck out.
Yeah, it just got to the point. The same, like I had a car stolen and multiple cars broken in, or I had a motorcycle almost stolen, and then a truck stolen within like 6 months of each other. I had cars broken into in that same period, and I finally was just like my wife was just kind of like, it's time right to like, it's time to move back to this. Like, she's not from where like we live now, but she was like, maybe we just like move up closer to your work. Like, I think it's like starting to not be worth it.
It's not.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
The price is one, like, reasons why we moved out to where we moved was because it was like a happy medium between both of our our workplaces.
Yeah.
I worked outside of the city in Broomall, and she worked in Delaware, that's why we picked where we picked. We found a spot. It was a duplex. We got super, super lucky, and we kind of lived for pretty cheap in our duplex, which is nice.
Yeah, the city was really nice. It was somebody... I forget who was it the other day. Somebody said that Philly peaked in 2019. I think it was Evan.
I think it peaked before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Evan.
And I was like, it's funny. It probably peaked before. I mean, we moved out of there before 2019, but it was cool. Like when I met my wife and we were dating, it was cool to like go out to eat
and go dancing. Like me and that's how we met. We met dancing. As our relationship started to progress, like in the midpoint, probably like 5 or 6 years in, that's when it kind of like music just got real bad. The scene in Philly got real shitty, and it just became like always a problem every time we went out.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely miss like all the gay bars and stuff like that. Like the wild clubs. Like you go down there to the gay clubs on like the weekend and just. Dude,
party till 4 in the morning.
Dude, the dance parties at those places, like people would be like, I remember we took this one kid with us. I forget what his name was, but he was like friends with my like wife's friends group or whatever. And I was like going out to dinner with like my wife and like a couple other like really good looking girls, and this kid's like, oh yeah, I'm coming with you guys. I'm like, I guess,
Right.
but sure, you can come. And then like we go to dinner, like we go to a couple bars, and then I'm like, all right, cool, we're going to like, I forget where we went next.
Voyeur.
Like, yeah, probably Voyeur. We were probably like, I think we're at Woody's in the upstairs, and there's like smoke being blown and all this.
Yeah,
and he's just like standing over by the wall like a stiff. I'm like, dude, if you think you're like hooking up with any of these girls tonight, you better start dancing.
Right? You better get it,
because it's going to get wild in a couple of minutes. And he just like wouldn't. And then I was like, all right, to Voyeur.
So we took we took my brother there. We took him to, what was it? Eye Candy, which is like right around the corner from there.
Yeah,
we started at Eye Candy, went to Woody's.
They're the best.
Dude, we just made our little circle. My brother, he's a better looking version of me.
Okay.
So he gets hit on everywhere. And we were in there, and
I think they
got
know
started.
though.
Oh yeah, they're like,
Just
he's
messing with
straight
him.
as shit.
Let's
So I'm gonna
make
go
them
after him.
uncomfortable.
Or they're like, I like a challenge.
Yeah, I'll turn. I'll turn him.
They're like, I think I can turn him.
People all the time would be like, "Oh, like you don't get hit on or anything," and I'm like, "Never. It never happened."
I got swiped once. And she had my back. I was mortified.
What do you mean
Dude,
swiped?
He
Like
credit
someone
carded
swiped you?
Dude, he credit carded me and got it in there.
No way.
I'm talking in there, dude. Hit my taint.
No
hole.
way.
I was like, I could have broke his fingers off. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
He
I
picked
was
you up.
getting drinks, and he just straight like, he just swiped me. He was like looking for whatever flavor, and she was like, hey, honey, he's taken. I was just like, oh my god.
No way.
Yeah,
Those
places.
You gotta
used
be
to get-
careful. You gotta be careful
in there. Those places are like Voyeur. Have you ever been down to any of those clubs?
I just won, but I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, so Voyeur we call it Voyeur, has like a light up dance floor through the center of it. And I actually saved a girl's life on that dance floor, I'm pretty sure. We were on like the light up dance floor part, and there was like this dude that was just all over her, and she was like too fucked up. And she was like trying to get him off, but she was just like, and I'm like, yo, I was like, my wife leans forward, says to this girl, yo, do you know this guy? And she's like,
you need
no. And I literally just like looked at two of my boys. I'm like, that dude. And I just reached over and grabbed this dude. I pushed him off because it's like up on a platform. I pulled him off the platform. I put him down, and my buddy just like grabbed him, walked away. And I don't know what he said to him, but he came back and to like grab this girl. And she's like, no, I don't know him. Like, and I'm like, listen, buddy, if you don't step the fuck out of here right now, these two dudes are going to break you in half in the bathroom.
Coming off real.
They're literally going to take you into
buddy.
they're going to take you into the bathroom and break you. And they're like, you bet. Like, you can't even hear. And this
Say
guy's
the
like,
word.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
We like got that girl a car and just like
Yeah.
good luck.
I think you need to go anywhere else. But
Yeah,
here.
like you need to. Something's going on here.
Yeah.
You're sending the wrong signals to this fella.
Yeah. But other than that, those clubs were always a good time, except for like that one time that I was like, oh, that's a little shady.
Yeah, no, we've had our fun there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
there's what about in South Philly? There's Ray's Happy Birthday Bar.
I've never been.
You've never been to that place?
No.
You know where it's at though?
No.
Near like Pat's and Gino's, kinda.
I've never heard
It's
of
a
it.
dive bar. So we go to this place, and like there's karaoke in the one room that's like atrocious karaoke.
My God.
And we walk in, this place is a dive hole. And I'm like, all right, cool. And somebody literally offered me cocaine, which is like city type stuff.
That's
but they were
the
trying to do it
normal.
like right on the bar. And I was like,
it's one of them bars.
I think
It's
I'm
usually
good.
the bathroom.
I think I'm good.
You
It's
know,
like-
the toilet.
Yeah, it's like at least like I'm like, all right. I was like, oh,
Toilet
there's a
stall.
bathroom over there. You can do it. He's just like, not right here on the
I
bar.
mean-
I was like, what is this, the 80s?
What's the?
I was like, this isn't like. I was like, I've never seen this happen before. I was like, this note to self: never come back to Ray's Happy
Yeah,
Birthday
it's
Bar.
fucking
I mean,
wild.
Johnny Depp's wife's doing it was doing it in court. So I mean, like, it's,
Oh,
you
did
can do
you
it
see
anywhere
that?
now.
Did you
could-
see that?
I
The guy-
I didn't pay too much attention. I just saw a lot of the memes where.
Yeah, that's all I
that's
saw. I didn't see the thing,
pretty-
but I saw the meme where the guy like, he like,
The coke dealer.
yeah, he was like standing in front of the TV, and he like literally just like he puts like some things in his hands, and he's like
Puts it in the napkin.
and hands it, but like
To the
he's
TV.
not at the thing, but he hands it to the TV, and on the TV somebody's like their hand pops up to hand it to her, so his hand's like behind the TV, so it looks like
it's
his
him.
hands handing it to her, and she like doesn't even like blow her nose or anything. She's just like
Yeah, it's so
I was
weird.
just
It's
like
so obvious. Like
she literally on the witness stand. I was like, that didn't just happen.
regular people can't bring a phone into a courthouse, but they can do that. I'm like, this is nuts.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe she's just that whole situation was wild.
Yeah, that's topic for, I guess, another time.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I just
yeah, me
know it was
neither.
like the Ukraine thing, and then Johnny Depp heard,
100%.
and then the Ukraine went away,
100%.
and Corona pretty much went away too.
Yeah, I know.
because
Corona.
That was like the final.
No, it got merged into the regular flu. It's now a part of our new lives. It's Corona. You have to get vaccinations.
Yeah,
That whole thing.
we'll see how that develops.
Yeah.
People are just making money off of it, and I'm not. So
I know.
And
I
I'm
played
not.
the cards wrong.
I gotta
Right?
find a
Dude,
way.
it should have been a pharmacist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We could have made bank.
Right?
Just come up with some medicines and just sell it. Right?
Just come up with them.
That's all, I mean, yeah. Right? That's isn't
You
what
just need to know how to formulate
yeah, do
it.
chemistry and stuff.
Yeah.
Just
Mm.
creating miracle cures. Just
Make
like,
millions.
oh man, I could save you.
I could save you.
I can save you.
Just take this. Believe me.
Just take
Believe
this.
me, right?
Believe
It's a
me.
miracle pill.
Yeah.
It's non-addicting.
Okay, dudes. Whatever.
Have you ever seen Dewey Cox?
Dude, that's why I was getting.
Yes.
It's
Have
non-addicting.
you
It's
seen it?
non-habit
Dewey
forming.
Cox. What's Dewey Cox?
It's like
Walk Hard.
Walk hard.
Walk
The Dewey
hard.
Cox story.
I've seen scenes from that movie when the kid gets ripped in half or some shit. When they're in a barn or something, right?
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, his brother.
Yeah,
his
his
brother.
brother.
Yeah.
You were the wrong son.
Yeah.
His dad trashes him. His whole life he tells him you were the
But
wrong
a bunch
son.
of time in that movie, there's a bunch of times like every couple like years or decades, like a new drug comes out, and like Dewey Cox is like a rock star. So they're like he like pokes his head into this one room, and they're like,
The
he's
first
like,
one's weed.
He's like, "What are you guys doing?" He's like, "Smoking weed. You don't want this, do we?" "Well, what does it do?" And he's like, "Makes everything better. Makes you feel good and food, like all that stuff." He's like,
Sex
"It sounds
is
like
better.
it sounds like I want some." He's like, "You don't want any, Dewey. Get out of here." And the next thing you know, he becomes like a huge stoner.
No, at first he's like, but is it habit forming? He's like, no, it's non-habit forming. He's like, can I get it? He's like, so I can't get addicted? He's like, no, you can't get addicted. He's like, so it sounds like I really want to try it. He's like, all right, man, come on in, try it.
But then they do it with like cocaine. They do it with like all the
Heroin.
heroin. He's like, "You don't want this." It's like, "Oh, but it sounds like I do." It's like every but yeah,
Yeah.
South Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Reminds me of that whole Elvis thing. You know, the new movie. That's
Well, I
coming
don't know
out?
about Fishtown is that's. Whew. Have you seen that place?
Fishtown.
I haven't been back. I haven't been back to this city other than like our projects in like Chestnut Hill.
Yeah,
and
so if
East
you're
Monterey,
if you're
then
gonna
I
go
don't-
drugs, you're gonna go Fishtown. No
Yeah.
disrespect, it's coming up, but if you're gonna if you're gonna go chaoticness and like getting robbed and stuff like that, you'll go Philadelphia.
yeah.
Fishtown is like the Walking Dead out there. I swear, dude. It's
I heard it's
Kensington?
all the way up to. It's
yeah,
all the way
Fishtown,
up to.
Kensington.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I've seen
It's
videos.
gotten way bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
but
seen
they're in the same, like at nighttime, it's awful.
During the day, it's like I
During
heard there's people just. It's like full blown
shoot.
now.
Yeah.
It's
It
even-
was pretty bad when I was down there. Like there was this one time I was like going underneath the L.
Yeah,
And I was coming up to like K and A.
It's big.
And I was on a motorcycle and I pulled up to the light and a guy was like he wasn't even asking for money. He was just like standing there.
For money.
Yeah, I'm assuming he was just for money, but he was like full gone at that point. So he was just like living in the sun trying to find darkness, I guess.
Yeah.
And I looked down at the dude's leg and I could see his bone in his shin.
Yeah.
He had like a hole in the side of his leg. And I literally was just like, I'm going to run this red light.
Oh yeah. It's,
I was like,
it's a safe call.
I'm not
Safe
hanging.
call.
I'm not hanging out here. I'm just
Yeah.
going to get out of here.
No, but at the same time, like they're gentrifying it. So like during the day, it's like mass construction, brand new $1 million homes going up, and then at nighttime, it's like
It's
The
like
Walking Dead. It's like crazy. It's,
mean, it's
it's
gotta
so
get
insane.
I hope they do something about it soon.
No, they're just like pushing it further and further into a tighter spot. Like that's kind of how it's working until it disappears, I guess, or they die off. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they literally are putting like drug drop-off needle places, like safe spots. Like, that's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
It's
Like needle exchanges.
I like was listening to a podcast the other day about how Portugal like legalized all drugs
Yeah.
back in the early 2000s.
But have less drug problems, right?
Yeah, so they took all the money that they were using to put people in jail for drugs
To help.
and they started using it to like just get people help. And it was like all the drugs, instead of making, so the first thing that happens when I think you like, before I listened to this, I thought all drugs should be legal. And like and people were always like, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm like, yeah, but like, think about it. A lot of the violence that we have, like gang violence and stuff like that,
Over illegal drugs.
is all over illegal drugs. So if you took their products and took it away and legalized it and like gave people places to like get what they needed, but like in a legal fashion that's like controlled, regulated, taxed,
You're
all
still
of
paying
that,
money for it.
you're still paying money for it. It's just like the violence is no longer there. And then, you know, people aren't getting robbed for whatever reason. And then, you know, you have people like getting help rather than getting thrown in jail because that money's being used to
Help people instead of hurt people.
Yeah. And like all these ideas that like we have just gotten so far away from in our country. But I feel like at a certain point, like we've been trying this like war on drugs simulation for a really long time now. It's kind of like at the point where it's like, maybe
it doesn't work.
Just maybe we try something. Like, could it get any worse?
Yeah. I
Could
mean,
it really?
before it gets worse,
But it's
why don't we try something
so think
different?
about like this, like it's incredibly hard for kids to get alcohol relative to like drugs. So like if you put like, you know, relatively, like a kid can't just like go into the liquor, like can't just like go buy a bottle of Hennessy on the corner.
Yeah.
Like maybe he can someplace, but like,
No, you'd usually have to get a bum or something.
yeah, you'd have to get someone to like buy it for you. I mean, now you can just wear a mask and like dress your hair up and make you look old. But yeah, so like if you put like, everybody thinks like, well, if you legalize it and make it, you know, whatever, like if you decriminalize it, you're not doing anything. But if you legalize it and like give people an avenue to like sell it legally, then you have to like check IDs. People have to have IDs. Like it's like way harder for those individuals to get into it at a younger age, where it's like, oh yeah, you can't buy a 6-pack of beer, but you know the kid whose older brother sells weed.
Yeah.
Like nobody's catching. Like it's like there's no. So if you like took away that dude's ability to sell weed, then your kids aren't like buying it from the random dude because that random dude doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, no.
And like it was just kind of like a bunch of different countries in Europe have like gone under this model, and it's been wildly successful.
No, I was I saw a lot on that, and I mean, delete the black market, and I mean that's why a lot of our problems are in the dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I mean when they killed Pablo Escobar, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this is great." Like,
yeah,
but like,
did it change?
No, like another like group, another cartel hired like the Mexican Marines or not the Mexican Marines, the Colombian Marines to like just take him out. And then he was gone and everybody's like, yeah, they did a great job. And I'm like, yeah, no, but like the same business is here. Like it's the same money still turning over. It's just different people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's Philly, dude. South Philly.
South Philly.
Yeah, it's kind of at that point where, you know, they'll have to do something. Yeah. Or if they don't do something, it's just going to turn into San Francisco.
That's why I just moved.
Yeah.
I just moved.
I think I made a good choice. I was glad that I would like hear the stories from my friends like during the pandemic and be like, "Yeah, dude, people are just blowing ATMs up and stuff." Like, I'm like, what is going on down there? Yeah,
I mean, I loved growing up there. Just couldn't grow old there.
Yeah.
I had to get out. Just a lot more to offer other places and stuff like that. And
so is your next move from like where you're at now to get like more of like a farm type place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of land, a piece of property with some sort of something enclosed on it, some sort of open land.
So you would stay growing indoors for the foreseeable future until our climate changes or something like that. Like
yeah, I mean, we have connections with people like Hollow House where we could do certain things. Like we're in the middle of working with him. He wants us to do like classes with him and stuff like that to just help. We're, helping him out just like they're helping us out. We're just going to help him as much as he needs our help, as much as we can help, and just continue to help grow our business and help other people grow theirs. And he's been super helpful to us, and we just continue to grow. And we would like to, our next move would be further out here, hopefully. And
up north here.
Yeah.
What the Service Brothers introduced you to the Hollow House, or like how'd you get linked up to them?
Yeah. I mean, super grateful for the brothers. Everybody that we are, all of our clients are pretty much through them right now. We have a couple, like regular people who get some microgreens off of us, like some people that she has a coworker, some family members and stuff like that. But for the most part, like our high ticket clients are all through connections from the Service Brothers.
Yeah, so is your goal to get more restaurants and things like that, or is it just more clients in general, or
more? I mean, we just want to bring awareness to like the health part of like microgreens. They're just like, I mean, in comparison, like just if you were to eat the whole food, the whole product of a microgreen, so say like just for instance broccoli, if you get like 60% of the daily nutritional value out of like a cup's worth of broccoli microgreens, which is, like whatever's in it, whatever vitamins and minerals come with that strain, it would take a cup's worth as opposed to eating the whole thing, like a whole grown plant, which would be like a plateful of raw, like not cooked, raw. Because when you cook it, you're losing nutritional value. So try eating a plateful of raw broccoli.
Yeah.
To get your day, you know what I mean? It's really not like possible, or like who's going to be able to do that in their daily life. But if you were to eat microgreens, you can put them on anything. You don't have to cook them. They taste great on everything. They're great as a snack. They're just like, I don't know, the better option for your vitamins, your daily vitamins and minerals.
So like do you know what vitamins like in particular, or like the certain things that like you're getting from, say broccoli sprouts? I
don't. In particular, I focus on more of the growing. Ashley is the kind of the person who does all the information.
We'll have to get her on here sometime in the future.
Yes.
If you could
arrange. I can arrange. I can arrange that. I can definitely arrange that.
Come on and talk compounds and vitamins and stuff.
I mean, she is our social media. She is the one who does all the information, all the uploading of all the information, typing of all the information, researching all the information of which microgreens have what in them, what daily nutritional value they bring, and how much. That's all her. And she's, we just hit our think we're over a little over 300 now followers in a very short period of time, and we're super excited about that, and just building our community and kind of handing out some knowledge along the way and help as much as we can.
Can we look up what pernicious means?
Yeah.
You just Google that.
So I think it actually means to bring up about change, like sneakily. And some
having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way.
Yeah, it's
so it's like the opposite of what you're doing. It's like
exactly,
kind of satirical.
Exactly. And then the Kanibs, same thing. It's more of like we're sneakily bringing about change. I mean, they tell us they're feeding us good all day, every day in media, and really we're getting fed bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a play, Kanibs, cannabis, not directly. I mean, the other day I was walking in Wawa and some dude was just like, "What's that say on your shirt?" And I had one of our shirts on, and he was like, "Pernicious." I was like, "It says Pernicious Kanibs," and he was like, "I thought it said cannabis." I was like, "That's the idea." You know what I mean?
Shoot him a wink.
Yeah, that's exactly. Hit him with the wink and the guns. I
I
was like, "That's right."
Name's Frisco. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. But before the pandemic, I didn't grow. I mean, right before the pandemic, I learned how to grow cannabis. My older cousin was down Longshore. My whole like a lot of my family members have done that throughout the generations of their fathers and stuff like that. And he was crushed by a container.
Yeah.
And like from head to toe, broke every single bone in his body. Like a full container hit him. He had it was wintertime, so he had a hard hat on and his hoodie over it and tied, so it kept the hat on, so it didn't pop off his head and like crush his skull. So he got super, super lucky, but he broke every single bone in his body. With that being said, we were already into cannabis. Like a lot of people in my family dabbled with cannabis. He started growing because he started doing a shitload of research on the effects because he lost sight in one of his eyes. It detached from his retina, the cord. High doses of extract are like tincture, dabbing, and in like 6 months it reconnected itself by itself.
No way.
Yeah. The doctor was like,
Wow.
I know why. I'm doing blood tests. I know why it did it. He said, I can't, at the time, he was like, I can't tell you to do this. He said, but off the record, keep doing it. He said, because there's surgeries that don't work to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it redid it by itself with high doses of cannabis.
Yeah.
So they said like the THC concentrate was like what was
they use it
healing
for
his
people
body.
with glaucoma.
Yeah.
So like that's all visual and stuff like that. So I don't know the science behind it, but I know it works. High doses of it works for people with epilepsy.
We should get that Skype with a scientist thing.
Yeah, I think it's their off season right now.
Oh,
Yeah, I
they have
looked
an
into
off
it.
season?
Yep.
Motherfucker.
That's
It
ridiculous.
has to be like during the school
Science
year.
takes a
the
break.
school
Yeah,
year.
I think so.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Well, this certain service does take.
Yeah, we
place.
found we found a service that like you literally can just like pick from the scientists like what you want to talk to them
Oh,
about,
that's pretty cool.
and they give you like an expert
In that area.
in that area.
Yeah.
For free?
I think it's for free.
Yeah, it's free.
That's pretty dope.
So we're just gonna start Skyping with scientists and
Oh.
making podcasts.
I would definitely do
Ask some
that.
questions.
Just be like, yeah, you're being recorded.
They're like,
We
"All
need your
right."
consent.
They're like, all right, fine.
Come talk to us about the science.
Science.
Just be like, start it off. Be like, I just want to start with saying I believe in science,
Mm.
and you're being recorded. So whatever you say now must be
Must be true.
accurate.
You ever
or
seen
whatever.
Nacho Libre?
Oh my god.
That's been
I
a
believe in
It's been a-
science.
Oh my god, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I
But
fucking love that movie. It's so stupid. He says he's not religious. He believes in science. Like the esqueleto, I think they call him.
I always want to come back as like a wrestler like that,
Yeah,
and just like wear those boots and the hat, and just that's it.
Mexican style?
Yeah,
bro. When you
The
retire,
mask?
yeah, the mask.
when I
That's
retire,
it. I don't know how they breathe out of them.
Yeah, I mean he's walking around with like blue face over here.
Yeah,
He's blue facing.
He's
I'm just gonna
blue-facing.
put on I'm just gonna start wearing a Mexican like wressling outfit.
bro. When you
Dude, you
retire,
might get taken on anywhere you go though.
yeah, for real.
Like dudes might be jumping off of like turnbuckles and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Jumping off
at
the cars.
Just go
at, like
to
the
Wa-
grocery store.
Just
You're
go
like,
to Wawa. The dude just like hops off the tasty cake thing and just drops one in.
Yeah. The mailman just fucks you up. No, that would suck.
Everybody's like, "Oh man, it sounded like something blew up in here." What did you like? What's your like next move like this summer? Like you guys are just steady growing, and
Yeah, so I mean, just networking, trying to get into. We just met with Danielle Organon.
yeah, Danielle Gannon.
Yeah. She has. I'm so terrible at this. She has a Instagram and she does a lot of stuff.
Local
on social-
local spot with
local,
Danielle.
yes, local
Yeah.
spotlight with Danielle, and we just sat with her at Native, which is another client of ours, and had an amazing time. She's super cool, and she just did a little write up on us, and we're just trying to meet more people in the Doylestown area, and I mean like Greater Philadelphia. I mean that's where I was born and raised, so like I'm not opposed to that. It's just a lot of people are set in their ways. So like I know there's a lot of companies doing their things, and I looked up at a couple different microgreen companies, and they might already be provided for, but hopefully we can get our product under their nose and they'll see the difference because we've been told that our stuff is some of the best microgreens they've ever tasted. So, and I mean, the only thing that we do differently is I grow with my heart, and we also have one of those amazing Kaga machines, and we grow with ionized, like filtered ionized, like really good quality water. So our plants love it.
What
we
what
love it.
pH are you like watering the plants at?
For the microgreens, we use 6.0.
Okay.
And if we have any like PM or anything like that, any type of like preventative maintenance, we use 11.5 and 2.5, which are
Acidic and base and then
yeah.
all that. Why do you choose 6.0? Is that like the uptake for the microgreens? They take up like whatever you're trying to feed them at that pH. It's like better for them.
So Coco Core is a hydroponic medium, and it ranges from like 5.5 to like 6.5, usually like 6.3. But
the Coco Core itself.
Yeah, so that's like a good pH level that's accepted in that medium. So reasons why we use the 6.0, and it comes out just a little bit above. There's some wiggle room for it when it comes out of your system, depending on how hard your water is or where you're located. But yeah, it comes out pretty spot on, and our nutrients is we use Ocean Solution organic nutrients, and we don't use much, but it's really good, and it really works well with what we're doing, and really good results.
Who linked you up with like the Coggin water?
The brothers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Steve pushes that machine hard.
Well, it's not that he pushes; he just knows like
He hustles the water.
It's health. Like, we are water. I mean, if you look at it, like, I mean, everything about us, like our brains are water. We're water. Our muscles, we need it. We need to be hydrated on a much higher level. A lot of our symptoms basic symptoms that we believe that are just like chronic to like our age and stuff like that, it's really not. I mean, generations before us are like, my grandfather was like fucking solid, well into his 70s, doing hard labor. I never heard him complain about his back, his hands, nothing. Our generation, everybody's complaining about everything. My back hurts.
I don't know if it's just the water.
I mean,
but if whatever the water can fix,
food. We're talking.
I was more so saying like I think our generation's just a bunch of complainers.
No, I'd say we've been trained to complain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been made into like a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
As like a society, like we complain about everything we want everything our way. We want everything now. I mean, things that are great don't come now. They don't come quick. They don't come fast. You have to earn that shit. So like we've been accustomed to like such quick, immediate things that like when things take long, it's not satisfying. But really, like it's super satisfying when you can build something and it sustain and be passed on and other people benefit from it. Like we're losing sight of that. Mm-hmm. I feel like half of the world is losing sight of that, and because of the pandemic, people are starting to wake up to that. Like, we do need to pay attention to what we're doing, the amount of waste, all these different things.
Of course. What is like the best way? We'll close it on this. What is like the best way for people to get in touch with you or like find you guys right now? Is it Instagram or?
Yeah, I mean, that's where we do a lot of our posting and getting just outsourcing and stuff like that. But at the bottom, you can see the website link. We just created our website not too long ago, and super proud of it. I had a lot to do with it. It wasn't easy, but it's nothing crazy. Just a bunch of information. I mean, it tells you on our website a lot of what you're getting in each one. So the person who actually really got us, pushed us through and got us to finish and get a website was Maria Campbell from Cooks Who Care, and she's someone we're working with that's works in our area, Delaware County, Greater Philadelphia. I mean, she works in the surrounding area just with people who, people in the industry and mental health. But yeah, Cooks Who Care. Yeah, Cooks Who Care.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, don't Service Brothers, love them. Got to give them a shout out. They're our partners. My beautiful girlfriend Ashley Vargas, who does our social media, she's fucking killing it. And just we got a solid team. Our head leader Sarah Mott, just everybody, just pushing each other to do better things and to meet better people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks for coming and
Thanks for having us.
talking microgreens in South Philly with us.
I try my best.
Gilmore, do you have any questions?
About the microgreens.
I mean, or life philosophy. I don't know. What do you got? You got anything tickling you over there?
Yeah, I actually was looking through your Instagram. What's bull's blood?
So it's similar to it's a beet basically. It's Swiss chard. I think is the family It's part of the chard family, but it's beautiful in color, mild in flavor. It doesn't have too much of a punch in flavor. It is it's nice. It's very earthy. But yeah, it's something new. We just started growing that. We were growing something that looks very similar to it, not as dark, more rainbow. It's actually something, it's called Rainbow Swiss chard. But this is much, much prettier.
And how do you guys often experiment with like different kinds of microgreens? Like how do you find what you're going to grow next?
We take recommendations from like people like our chefs that we provide for, our partners who we also provide for, the brothers, Nick and Steve Service. And my girlfriend, she is just really, really good at choosing strains of all kind. She picks my strains and I grow them, and she does very, very well.
She's the brains, you're the beauty.
No, she's definitely the brains and the beauty. I'm the dirty hands. I'm the dirty hand.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm the green thumb, I guess. That's what I bring to the table.
Dude. Well, thanks for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the show. We know you guys are listening, and not all of you are subscribed, and it really helps us out a lot with just analytics and things like that. Seeing, what you guys like to listen to and different things. We'll probably just keep doing what we want anyway.
Yeah.
But at least it's fun to know. And we'll have to have Ashley on in the future.
Yeah,
if you know how to get in touch with her.
Yeah, I think I can get. She's a busy woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure to get y'all microgreens.
Yeah,
people.
she's got I want to plug her real quick. Let me plug her.
Yeah, do it.
What is it, babe?
Speak your truth.
Your Instagram.
Oh, the art?
Yeah.
Abstract by Ashley.
Yeah, Abstract by Ashley. Yeah. There.
This one?
No, that's not you. That's not you. Ashley. Put Ley. Let's see. Enter. Let's see. Is it bring it up?
Maybe your shadow band.
Maybe your shadow band.
I don't know. Ashley.
Just go to there and then go to the followers or friends for that.
Yeah. But yeah, she's an amazing artist. Gaia Green Goddess. Go back up. Right.
Down a little bit.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right
A
here?
little bit more.
No. Keep.
Down a little bit more.
Yeah, right
Terrible.
there. So like we're gonna navigate.
Just
We're gonna
3 views
navigate.
on a computer.
See it, babe?
Yeah.
What happened
Acrylic Arts by Ashley.
here?
Not abstracts.
I don't know what we're doing. See, this is what happens. No, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but anyway, we're gonna figure that out. We'll get it. We'll get it back up there. But yeah, dude, she makes really, really dope all natural soy candles. She's an artist.
Is that the candle you guys brought us?
Yes, it is. It's that's a what flavor, babe? What scent? Cannabis and agarwood.
Look at this art.
Yeah, dude. This is all. She put down the scissors and picked up the brush. Pandemic 2019.
Yeah, that one in the center right there is sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
those are
Next time
sick.
we come, you can have it. You can put it up in here. We'll give it to you as a gift.
You do acrylic. That's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, my girlfriend also does art. She does a lot of watercolor stuff.
Yeah, she was doing flow art in the beginning. She started just bouncing around. She's got a lot of different areas where she's
Ooh,
Really,
You
really.
really got some cool shit up
Yeah,
here.
this is
Yeah,
We'll have to
really
get
cool
the
stuff.
artist Ashley in here too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't want to leave that out.
this one's
She's
sick too.
Damn.
Yeah, I'd buy a lot of these and put them in my
Yeah,
house.
so would I.
yeah,
These
man.
are
It's one of
insane.
my favorite things. I come in and like all the walls got paintings all over them. So I'm like, you know, it's not a bad environment to be in. You got plants everywhere. You got paintings everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, these are sound panels.
Ah, okay.
They actually have like stuff inside of them that
She wanted to paint on them. She's like,
they-
that's a canvas.
they do different things. Yeah, we didn't just hang up like blank canvas. So that's our style of art. It's just blank.
Yeah.
That's how we feel.
Yeah, we're minimalist.
We're
people.
minimalists.
Yeah,
No, these are actually really fancy sound panels that I mean, it's hard to tell now, but you literally like there's no like
Oh, recoil.
there's no
Echo.
like you can clap and there's just like it doesn't there's nothing. All those panels just like suck
Absorb
up
it.
all the yeah.
That's pretty
These
dope.
these ones like these tall vertical ones and like that one over there are different from those ones.
Yeah, these are.
I know
considered-
nothing about what they do. I just know they do it.
Yeah, these are considered bass traps, and then the other ones are more for like higher end frequencies. But
Okay.
yeah,
The thickness determines that.
Mhm.
And like what's inside of them.
yeah. Well, according to these, I don't know if that's how all of them do it, but according to these,
This
that's how it
style.
works.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. Great work though.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
check out their Instagram page. Order your greens. They're
Yeah.
good for you.
They are, man. It's a better way to get your daily vitamins and support locally.
Awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having
keep
me.
on listening. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, for sure.